Hi, I'm Jackie, and I'm addicted to Survivor.
Hi, I'm Molly, and I'm addicted to Survivor.
And now the latest scourge on television, reality TV.
So, I was kind of disappointed in this week. How about you?
It was bland, but with the 90-minute timeline, it had content. It just nothing had pizzazz.
No, and I noticed that they had bits of comic relief for 2 of the 3 tribes, and that further hammers home my theory that they want Lulu to be a bad tribe, because they didn't show anything but misery for Lulu. They didn't show anything fun or lighthearted or anything. I didn't think.
Well, one thing that I noticed, since you're talking about the tribes, is you've got Reba, Bello, Lulu, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when they're on their way to one of the challenges, Reba is basically doing a wave.
I saw that
kind of thing on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Bello has their tight pairings of 3 pairs, and then Lulu is just looking like somebody kicked their dog.
They're a mess. They're a messy tribe. And you mentioned in the last podcast that people are saying that Emily reminds them of George. And I can see it from the term of character growth, but what hit me today about Emily is she's got like the brain of George, but I feel like he's coming at it from like a place of good, and I feel like she's coming at it from a place of bad. Like, he is there because he loves it. She's there for something else.
Well, I didn't like the comparison to George, but she's also been compared by the Survivor producers to Kaz. And I think Kaz was a better person also.
Yes, agreed. I think she was coming at it from a positive place as well. And I just don't get that vibe from Emily at all.
No.
At all.
So right out of the gate, my girl, Maya, what's her face? The singer,
Jay Maya, who I love, by the way,
is trying to decode the flag just by sight.
Yes. And I loved getting to see her brain work.
Right. I like that she took the initiative to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But later on in the episode, once you see Austin lay that cipher up on the flag, the majority of the cipher is on the bottom.
Yeah, it would kind of be impossible for her to do it.
Right.
One of the things that I wrote down a quote that Sabia said to Emily near the beginning of the episode. I can't help how you feel, just like you can't help how you say things. I don't know why I wrote that down now. I don't remember.
She's a hot mess. So they keep showing how Katurah is anti-Bruce.
Yes, like very loudly.
Right, but she's not speaking to the tribe that way. This is just in confessionals. And I think there's some foreshadowing there.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think so too.
There's going to be something between those two for them to have even brought that up.
And I think she is an excellent narrator. I love the way that she tells her Survivor story. Like, she uses really good language and she's animated, but she doesn't feel like fake or anything. I like her so far, tentatively.
Right. So then Brandon comes up and finds the beware advantage.
And immediately passes it like a hot potato.
Exactly. So he gives that to Sabaya. who's more than happy to take it
Mm-hmm.
because she's so brave. I love her.
I do like her a lot too.
So the development of that happens later on. But another thing I noticed, which is, I don't know if I noticed it this much until now, everybody's knees are all scraped up.
I noticed that too, like all of them. And it wasn't just like a little bit of skin knees. It was like the front of their top of the shins. It was not pretty.
But where did they get that? In the mud?
Trying to think of the challenge. That would be the only place.
They looked like they were dragged down the road.
Yeah. Did they crawl under anything recently? Because those could be crawling.
Yeah, but everybody, I've never seen a tribe this bent up this early at all.
Yeah, they are a mess.
Well, you know it's all going to get infected.
Mm-hmm.
So then they go on to the boat journey.
Yes. And the fact that they sent Brandon bothered me so much. I was like, he is the worst person to send unless they're like going on, oh, we definitely don't want him to get an advantage. We don't want anyone to get an advantage. So let's just send Brandon because he's going to fail.
No, I think Emily wanted to go. And one of the podcasts was saying, you know, what would happen if Brandon went to go back to get his stuff and she just hopped on the boat? You know, is there any rule against her just saying, psych, sucks to be you? And
God, I would love to see somebody do that, honestly.
Right. So even before that, Caleb was comforting Emily and bringing her in. And I want Caleb as a BFF.
Yes, he is very good at handling people.
But he was so good at making her feel important, setting her on a different path.
Yep.
You know, it's like a Tonka truck. You just point her in a different direction. You're going the wrong way.
What is his job? Do you remember what his job is?
I do not know. Let me see.
The only person's job I can remember for some reason is Sean, and that's because he's a school principal.
Caleb is software sales.
Huh.
So he's sales.
Yeah, so he's got to know a decent amount about psychology if he's any good at it.
Right.
That makes sense. He's very likable. I can see him going far until the merge when they get afraid of him.
No, well, I told you, he's my number one. So anyway, they go on the boat journey, and then Brandon gets back and tells them complete lies. Why?
I have no idea. Like, nothing that boy does makes any logical sense to me now.
No. And then Drew gets back and tells them everything.
It is very interesting for me to see the way that the different tribes greeted the returnee as well. Like the way Reba did a little surprise thing, I thought was so sweet.
Right. That was very sweet. And then, so once he spills the beans, then he and Austin are BFFs. And then Austin trusts him with his advantage. So they want to be JT and Steven now.
Austin's name doesn't match him as a person. He doesn't look like an Austin.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like, I guess because of the city in Texas, I feel like Austin should be like a country looking person, and he doesn't look country to me.
He's got the tan line for it.
That's a good point.
He's got that wife beater tan line going on.
He does 100%. I do feel like Drew is making like too many allies, though.
I think Drew's overthinking things.
Yes.
Completely. So the immunity challenge.
I didn't like it as a challenge.
Wait, the reward?
No, the challenge itself.
Which one?
Well, there was only one. Wasn't there only the immunity this episode?
Yes.
So that one.
So getting across the balance beam that's floating on water.
Mm-hmm. A 3-tier balance beam.
Did you see who fell?
Kendra.
Did you see how she fell?
Yes, if a dude would have fallen like that, it would have been medical. Right?
Right. And at one point towards the end of the challenge, when they get to the puzzle,
Mm-hmm.
you can see her like laid over.
I can't imagine the bruise she must have had.
Oh my God.
You know what? She's really growing on me too already. She's kind of a trooper.
Oh,
And
I do not like her.
I don't know. There's something about her.
She strikes me as the kind of person who's like, I need to be the center of attention.
I can see that. Yes. Well, she's a bartender. I think I know her job too for some reason. She's a bartender, so that makes perfect sense.
Ugh.
You know who irrationally annoys me, and I don't know why?
Who?
Sifu. I think I said this last week.
Oh, he's terrible. It's Coach.
That's right. We did go through this last week. He just feels so inauthentic.
No, he's trying to show you who he is.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it at the beginning whenever he doesn't feel pain when he punches things?
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Well, I did wonder, this is going back to the thing where the 3 people went off and did the challenge. I did wonder how much time they had to stand there and talk to each other before they went off on their pass. If they had like, you guys have to stand here and talk for 30 minutes, or they were able to choose and pick how long they wanted to stand there and talk.
Oh, it was probably longer than we were led on to believe, but you know, that challenge was funny because Bruce was right out. I'm not risking it. Hands wiped. Goodbye. You know,
Yep.
And then Brandon was like, this is right up my alley. I'm going to ace this.
Didn't he say at one point, it's like a kindergartner's game or some shit?
Well, no, he was saying, I don't have to lift anything. I don't have to swim. This is going to be great.
And he was so excited to pull the lock thingy.
Oh, I can't wait to do this. I've always wanted to do this. And then he totally screwed the pooch. But the funny thing about when Drew was doing it, you know, when Drew was matching up the tiles, and he was just casting them aside on the ground. Like,
Yeah.
I know my ass. And I'm like, he still had to go back and pull another piece out of the ground.
Yeah, I see those. I see when they do shit like that, and I feel bad for the people that have to clean it up. Oh, also, on TikTok, I randomly stumbled across an account that is one of the guys that does like the in challenge videography on Survivor, and the way they do it is not at all what I thought. I thought that, you know, every camera was still operated just by a person, but some of them, they just had like these cameras lodged in sand, just random places on the course and stuff.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's how they're able to get those really close up shots. And it was really neat to see, because the TikTok that I saw of him was him wandering around some beach, sad because he forgot where he buried some cameras.
Oh God, they lost a whole barge one time. You heard about that one, right?
What? No.
Okay, the barges that are out there, the floating barges.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course they're not floating; they're anchored, right? But depending on the challenge, when the tide goes in and out, they have to be at the same level.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this whole engineering thing of how they anchor them so that they stay at the water level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there was one barge one year, and I don't remember what year it was, and there was a storm, and the barge just floated away. So now they actually put GPS trackers on those barges so they don't lose them.
Oh my God. There's so many behind the scenes Survivor things that aren't public knowledge. Like I think about I know there was one season where like a bale of cocaine washed up on the beach and two of the castaways discovered it.
Oh God.
And then like I want to know how long their NDAs are, because the America's Next Top Model NDAs are coming up for the earlier seasons, and all of the models from that show are just spilling all of the gossip all over TikTok, and it's kind of fun to watch all of this unravel. So I wonder when that's going to happen with Survivor, when those NDAs expire.
Okay, so Lulu.
Yes, Lululemons
has the beware advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And they're looking in this tree.
Yes.
How long and how many people does it take to figure out the coconut doesn't belong in the tree?
It was ridiculous. I don't even remember who it was that pointed it out.
So by the time they figure out, hey, that coconut's up there, they've already climbed up and down. Caleb got eaten by ants.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, Brandon said, I have scoliosis. Don't stand on my back.
Don't dance around up there, is what he said.
Oh, my God. So anyway, so they get this thing down and they have to melt it.
Yes, with no flint.
But going back to last episode, now, I would think I have glasses. You have glasses.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that if you're tenacious enough, you can figure out how to make a fire with your damn glasses.
Right. Well, there was a shot of Brandon trying very early on in this episode.
But he didn't do anything.
No, he didn't do it right.
I'd be snatching those glasses off of that boy's face and making a fire.
And again, that is something that I feel that I would have practiced a million times before I went on Survivor. I would know how to make fire with my glasses. It's infuriating.
So, Sean, on Lulu.
Yes.
Which again, Lulu gets all the footage this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, who is one of my picks for the lottery,
Yes,
right?
the pool picks.
He has got such a pucker mouth, such a sassy little pucker mouth.
He does.
You can see him talking tea a mile away.
Mm-hmm. Could you imagine having him as your principal? Like he's a school principal.
Oh, I know. But can you imagine him going, oh, girl, let me tell you.
Yes. 100% yes.
So, now we get to tribal.
Yes.
Which, again, the podcasters were trying to figure out, why didn't you bring the wax idol to tribal and melt it in the fire?
Yeah, because so many on the tribe knew that she had it. Like, what does it matter?
I don't know whether or not they would have let her do it, first of all.
Since they hadn't earned fire yet.
And I don't know whether or not, you know, if you just set it up there to melt during tribal and it falls in the fire, then what do you do? Right?
Oh, what did you think about Emily giving Sabaya her shot in the dark?
You know, the shot in the dark thing, I have never put any stake in whatsoever. I think it's a completely stupid twist.
Mm-hmm.
And it's meaningless to me because it's only worked once.
Right.
In the whole show.
Yeah.
So to me, that's like giving somebody a non-idol.
Well, it's interesting to me because I read the interview with Jeff Probst that he does with Entertainment Weekly after every episode of Survivor. And someone asked him, since Sabia has 2 right now, is she able to play 2 shots in the dark? And the answer is yes, that she is able to, just not at the same tribal council. So she doesn't have to give it back to Emily, and she can play 2 if she wants to sometime in the future. But I honestly don't even see her playing 1 ever. It doesn't seem like her type of gameplay to me.
No, and I can see it as a trust move by Emily, and maybe that was fostered by Caleb.
Yes.
But the shot in the dark I really don't give a shit.
Yeah. I don't like all of the extra. I don't like that. I honestly don't like the little individual walk away things either. Like, I feel like it just overcomplicates it. And they're trying to just like dangle a carrot for the people that are halfway interested instead of like making it for the people who love the show. I don't know. I might be projecting.
So we get to tribal.
Yes.
And then Jeff has to pontificate about the water boy story.
Yes.
What the hell was that?
It came out of nowhere. And I don't even know, because I don't think that the tribe really looks at Brandon as a water boy even, because I haven't seen him going to, like, literally haven't seen him going to bring water back to camp, so.
No, he was trying to say that, here's your cheerleader.
Well, then say that.
Well, Jeff had to come up with some parallel to his miserable life. What the hell ever. But he's, first of all, it was insulting because you're basically telling this guy, you have no input.
You're useless.
You're useless. At least come up with the fact that you can go team.
Do you think that Sabiyah is in control of the game? Sabiyah? I don't never know. I'm so bad at pronouncing. Sabiyah. Do you think that she is in control of the game? Because she said that at one point in a confessional. And I don't think that she is.
I think that she's in control of the game in as much as she knows Emily is being a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
She knows Brandon's useless.
Mm-hmm.
She's BFFs with Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
She's tight with Sean.
Yeah.
So that would be on her mind.
Yeah. But I feel like the same could be said for Caleb or Sean.
Sean, not as much, I don't think.
You don't think so?
No, because he's not as strong as she is.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
But I think that on Brandon's exit.
Mm-hmm. Thank goodness, by the way.
Oh, thank goodness, of course. But he was just so giddy, even to be voted out. He was giggling at it.
His interview with Entertainment Weekly was more of the same. It was so weird.
No, I think in his mind, he was role playing as a survivor.
I can see that.
That was his sim. I mean, it was terrible. Whoever cast Hannah and whoever cast him.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, the first 2 boots of the season are almost like, who the fuck cares?
Right, but I saw his interview with his exit interview with Rob Has a Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You would have thought the guy had just snorted a line of coke, talking a mile a minute, and he was so excited just to have touched any aspect of Survivor.
Yeah, in his Entertainment Weekly interview, he said that he asked them when he got done with the individual puzzle and couldn't pull the thing, he asked the producers if they would let him just unlock it, figure it out, unlock it. And he wouldn't open it. He wouldn't look inside to see what was in there or anything. He just wanted to be able to say that he did it. And they did let him do it.
Oh my God. I mean, that's just, come on, dude.
Like, in one way it's sweet, but in another way, I don't know.
He didn't prepare himself.
No, that's what bothers me. That bothers me so much.
Okay, so something that Jeff Probst said on the On Fire podcast was the intro montage of all the people, right?
Yes.
That in every episode this season, supposedly, according to him, there's a different hint.
Did they take a page from the mole?
That's what I was thinking. I'm like,
did somebody watch the mole?
You're not Anderson Cooper, you jackass.
Come on, Jeff.
And he was saying it was like a hint of the episode, and I'm like, who in the hell is going to sit there and go, oh, look, there's a meatball coming up. I don't forget. Really?
The way the people on the Reddit threads dissect the show, I'm sure that there's an answer pinned to the top of it, to the subreddit right now.
Oh, good grief. I just don't understand why that would even be a thing.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, who is your top dog right now?
Honestly, and I'm saying this because of the way that they're editing it, not because I like it, because I wrote this down. I like the way, all right, I think that this person's going to be fun to watch play, but I don't like them. I think I have to say Emily this week is where I am.
Oh my God, you're killing me.
And it's not because I like her. It's because of the edit that she's getting. I think that the editors are not as subtle as they think they are. I don't know.
I'm still on Team Caleb.
I love Caleb. And I don't want Jake to feel bad. I still love him. In fact, when he showed up on screen, I got a big happy smile on my face. And then on the preview for next week, I got very worried about him.
Oh, I know. He falls over.
Yeah. It looked almost Michael Scoopin-esque, like he fell into the fire and not like he molested children.
Well, I like Katura.
Yes, I love her.
But the hard part is that we haven't seen Reba and Bella as much as we've seen Lulu. So I'm still Team Caleb until he does me dirty, and I'll leave it at that.
And I think that the fact that we've seen Lulu so much is one of the things that makes me lean towards Emily. So maybe we're looking at like an Emily and Caleb final too. Like I would be cool with that because I don't know. I just feel like they're investing so much into the story. There's got to be more to it.
Yeah, but we've seen so many winners lately come from the bottom of the pack.
Yep.
And that's the hard part.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think we did the thing. I've been Jackie.
And I've been Molly.
Stay tuned.